What is good, my beautiful people? What it do? It is on like Donkey Kong. I got my man JD slash J Dizzle in the hizzle. JD, say what's up to the fans, y'all. Let's get it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I missed the episode last night, but tonight we're about to turn it up Gamecock style, baby. Let's roll.
I got my boy Shane. Shane, let's tell everybody what it do, man.
Oh man, hey, it's lovely out here. It's a little warm, but hey, we got fans going. We're ready to talk about these Gamecocks.
Yes, sir. We are ready to rock and roll. Our boy Nick is going to join us tonight, everybody. It is a guarantee. He has said he's running about 10 minutes late. Understandable. Greg will try to chime in as well. I'm excited. I'm ready to have you all on board to see what we are about to accomplish. So, without further ado, let's get it going. Are y'all ready?
Let's get it.
I can't hear you. Are you ready?
Let's get it.
Ready.
Let's represent this. Let's go. My man JD here has got some exciting content to start the show. We're going to talk about some Gamecocks. We're going to talk about some college baseball. We are going to talk also about football, some NASCAR, maybe some golf, guys. We also, I'm going to tease this now, we're going to have some people come on the show with us. We got some special guests coming, y'all. Let's ready. JD, I'm going to throw it to you, man. Let me hear what you got about SEC baseball because I'm ready, man. I want to hear. Let's go.
All right. Hey, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to learn about the Sportz Nuts and who we are with our fandom and who we represent. So first of all, I'm a big baseball fan. Obviously, love the Atlanta Braves. Always have, always will. Granted, they choke a little bit in the off season. We'll leave that for another debate. But today, we're going to go to the South Carolina baseball Gamecocks and how they have aspirations to be in Omaha year after year since those back-to-back national titles in 2010 and 2011. What's crazy is that Ray Tanner, a former baseball coach, has better record at hiring basketball coaches than he does baseball coaches. I mean, can you fathom that? I mean, none of these sports translate. So, I mean, it's hard to imagine baseball coach becoming an athletic director and not being able to hire the proper baseball coach.
Well, let me chime in on that one real quick with you, JD.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean,
I want to know about what
Yeah.
you. So you're saying that he's more like an athletic director, right? Have we seen that before though in the past?
I mean, I don't know that I could comment on other baseball coaches becoming athletic directors. But what I can say about being Gamecock and what we've seen right would be that, he thought he had a successor already in place on his staff, Chad Holbrook, who was supposed to just, once he stepped into the athletic director position, Holbrook was supposed to just continue that. I mean, the culture was in place. Everything was already in place. So, I mean, all the players, I mean, granted, of course, you lost a few, but everything was already in place for him to continue to succeed with it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Gamecocks are the last ones to win back-to-back national championships. I could be wrong. Trust me. Hey, if you're out there, as a matter of fact, don't forget to interact. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Tell Shane if he's right or wrong. Tell Brandon if he's right or wrong. Or even Greg. You can follow us all. We're all at the Sportz Nuts. That's the easiest way to get in contact with any of us. I'm at WI_JD. And we'll get to some other handles and stuff here in a minute. But yeah, I mean, everything was set up for Holbrook to succeed, and he failed. And then Kingston was supposed to be the next big thing. And granted, he's won some regionals. We won 42 games last year. We're sitting at 30-14 this year. And another tease for you, apparently 16-14 in the SEC gets you a regional. You get to host at home for going 16-14 in the SEC. I'm a Gamecock, and I'm okay with it being a fan. But if I was other teams like Oregon State, Wake Forest, or Virginia, North Carolina, or any of these other teams that are projected to not be a top seed because they don't play in the SEC where it just means more. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm questioning some things that are going on.
Yeah. Now I can tell you, we're talking about the transition in coaching in the baseball. Baseball is such a tight knit culture in the college ranks. I mean, you're with each other. You're on these long bus rides. I mean, at a D1 level, I'm sure it's pretty phenomenal. The status that you get to go and perceive and do, especially with NIL now. But the culture is all about one thing. And Ray Tanner and Holbrook, they all had a culture about them. And you can't translate culture past certain coaches that aren't interacting with each other within these certain phases. So it takes time.
Okay, I definitely see that now. Obviously the burning question is this team for real? We've seen potential. We've seen what could be. I mean, I want you. Okay, so let's look from the outside perspective. I want to welcome our first viewer here. We have some viewers that are on now. Let's go ahead and let's look at an outside perspective on this. Okay, you have your average Joe, or maybe you even have people who are baseball fans, but they're not necessarily diehards. Okay, they do follow college baseball during certain parts of the year. I understand that one. Let's look at the outside perspective. Is this team Omaha ready now, or is it Omaha ready for the future, or are we still, 2, 3, or 4, even 5 years away from getting that next step? JD, I want to hear it.
All right. So, yeah, listen, I was fully prepared to talk about this. Here's the deal. With Mark Kingston, granted, he's won some games, man. I mean, we just went to the Super Regional last year and lost to Florida. And we swept Florida a few weeks ago. Florida is not what they were last year, even though they kept Caglione. But what's so crazy about it is that we currently sit at 30-14, 11-10 in the SEC. We have only won 3 out of the 7 series that we've played so far this year. So that's the way these things are measured in college baseball. They're measured by series wins. And right now we're 3-4 as far as that's concerned. Granted, a couple of the teams we beat were good. Vanderbilt swept. We just beat Kentucky, which everybody told me they've had a really easy schedule so far. But what I'm going to base how we play and how we're going forward over the next few weeks is going to be how we finish these last 3 series. What I need to see from the Gamecocks, we need to see. All right. They have 9 conference games left. So they're going to have to sweep one of the series. They have Missouri. Oh, I looked them up earlier. I forget their final. They're very winnable series. I forget their last 3 opponents now. But, yeah, I need to see the bats coming alive. I need to see the pitching come around. Because when we were winning, when we were good, we had dominant weekend pitching. Friday and Saturday, guaranteed win. Guess what? That's a series win. And so it all starts with pitching. They got too used to having hot bats last year. And Cole Messina hasn't been this year what he was last, nor have any of the other bats or any other pitching, really. So now is the time to get hot. Right now, the Gamecocks are projected as a number 10 seed, which number 10 overall. So it's really a number 1 seed. They're going to be hosting a regional, potentially. at
This
6.
is not going to be like Campbell, where last year Campbell got a chance to host and they couldn't because of the small field, right?
Well, that and it. Many said that it probably should have been Campbell hosting over the Gamecocks anyway, based on. I mean, I think they won 42 games last year, so that's hard to take. But yeah, we lose really questionable games for the.
Oh, your audio is there, JD.
Yeah.
Okay, they can hear you.
Yeah, but as a Gamecock though, with the talent on the roster, I'm not prepared to lose that way. It's Omaha or bust for the Gamecocks as far as expectations.
Now, Shane, let's throw it to you. Feed off of what he is saying. Are you in agreement? It is Omaha or bust. And also, the tag along that secondary question, is this make it or break it for Mark Kingston? Do you see him saving his career at South Carolina if he gets to Omaha, or does he have to do better and make it all the way to the very end and win the whole thing to save his career?
Well, the Omaha or bust, I'm going to say, whoa, back up that train.
Okay.
I would say back up that train. They're coming around. Kingston is, like I said, it's all about the culture. He's starting to create the culture, and all about this time of year in the nitty gritty of the season, especially conference play. Then you're going into the regionals, super regionals, and then the World Series. It's all about you've got to have a strong bullpen, and do they have that right now? It hasn't been proven, and I have not seen it. You've got to have solid starters. You've got, like JD said, the starters on the weekends have shown up to go Friday and Saturday, 6-7 innings. But then another point that JD hit on, the bats have to be alive at the right time. You can't depend on them. I mean, we see what the Braves are doing in the majors right now.
Yes, exactly.
They are strong enough to stay in contention, but don't have these pieces that are put together yet. And it's all got to get going at the right time. And in college baseball and any college athletic, especially when you're going through a playoff system, it becomes you've got to get all these pieces going at the right time.
Okay. Well, let's open it up to our audience here that's on there. I want them to chime in on the chat, pop out, let us know, hey, do you think this for South Carolina Gamecocks baseball? Is this make it or break it? Is it Omaha or bust? Look, I would love to hear those comments. JD would like to hear those. Shane. So what I'm gathering here from what we have seen and what we have heard is you don't really know which Gamecock team is going to show up. It's a coin toss. And that's a sad fact right now is the coin toss. Yeah. We can go back and look at Clemson's basketball team, Brad Brownell. Which team was going to show up? You had this team that started 12-0. They barely survived. And then they went on this phenomenal run to the Elite Eight. Did it save his career at Clemson? I have a feeling it did. But you got to have consistency. And Kingston, I need you to show me your consistency, man. I've got to see more of it. One here, one there, one everywhere else kind of thing. Yeah, that's nice and pretty on paper. But you know what, though? You need it on a regular basis. You need to incite fear in the other team of, oh, great, we have to play the Gamecocks. I'm scared because you know what they can do. They can open up a can, bat around the plate. They can go 15, 17, 20 runs. And they have elite arms. They have that kind of persona. You need to scare your opponents more than anything imaginable. That's with any sport, though. You've got to incite fear. I mean, let's take a look at another team here is the Oklahoma Sooners softball team. They're scary. They're a dynasty. They are a juggernaut. And then you got to go look at, look at the Atlanta Braves too. Atlanta Braves, they're a juggernaut in the regular season. What was the key word that I said there, though? Regular season. Because when the postseason comes, that's where it makes the difference. That's what determines you from here to here.
Yeah.
And you want to always be here. You don't want to be, oh, well, we got there. Congratulations. We're good. Yeah, we're good. No, you want to be top level. I'm going to open up a can on you. I'm going to hit home runs left and right. I'm going to do no hitters against you. That's the kind of style you want in a baseball. JD, do you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what was crazy is when we were winning our championship in 2020.
Scoot to your camera a little bit. Your audio is going in and out.
It shouldn't be here. Let me.
There we go.
No,
Sorry, technical difficulties, y'all.
we're good. But in 2020, that's a year. 2010 and 2011, when we were winning our championships, I pitched against Michael Rock, who won the clinching game for us. And the dude threw 84 miles an hour. He was a placement pitcher. They played small ball. They didn't try to out talent you. We even had a suicide squeeze, I think, to score a game-winning run. You got to be ballsy. You got to be willing to think outside the box in baseball, I think, is what the issue is. And I just don't. Something hasn't ever clicked with Kingston in Carolina. And I'll mention this one. Granted, they play ridiculous opponents week in, week out. We've already played the number 3 team twice this year. We've already played the number 1 team, the number 2 team, the number 5 team, the number 10 team, the 13, 17, and everything in between. And I want to see more consistency. I don't want to see a sweep one series and then losing the next. It's just crazy where they've gone with this. Hopefully, we're hitting at the right time. But I will mention, how about just SEC baseball in general?
Exactly.
Do we have an advantage because we're playing in the South?
So let's bring our boy Nick. Our boy Nick is here. Let's bring him on. Nick, the man.
What's going on, gentlemen?
The myth.
How are y'all?
What's up, brother? All right.
Man.
So JD has got a very, very good topic we're going on here with. JD.
Okay.
Let's continue on with the SEC baseball talk. Ask Nick what you were just starting to talk about here, please.
Yeah, so Nick, you'll get to tie in here right here at the end. Here, this is the main question to kind of wrap all of this conversation together, and then we're going to segue into something different here soon. But Nick, does the SEC so they got 3 of the top 3 teams in the top 25 right now. They have 9 out of the top total 25. They're all playing really good baseball. They all got pitching. They all got hitting. So my question is, do you feel some type of way about the SEC having this type of dominance? Does it just mean more in the SEC? Or do we have a weather advantage where down here in the South, we just get to play baseball year round?
I feel like that's part of it. Definitely, with us being in the South, obviously we have, like you say, have a lot more days to be able to practice ball year round. That and the fact that I think of when kids coming out of high school think baseball, they think SEC because they know that they can play year round. So that's going to be where I think on it. But yeah, definitely got a good team going this year for the SEC, no doubt.
Okay, so let's go. Let's do a quick little summary on this one, and we'll wrap on to the next segment. Shane, and I'm going to ask you first, and then we're going to ask Nick, and then we're going to finish up with JD on this subject. Shane, have the Gamecocks and Mark Kingston done enough for you to say this is an Omaha team? And then also the secondary on that one, if it is, do you see Carolina going to the final?
Okay, so Omaha team, with the pieces that they have, they could put it together. It is one of those things that becomes down to a like I said, their bats have to come alive at the right time together.
Mhm.
And then if your bats come alive at the right time together, that gives you the advantage to make those ballsy calls, like say the suicide squeeze and stuff like that. You know, it's not going to be unreasonable for them to make noise into the super regionals. Do I think they have the team to be Omaha bound? Yes. Do I think it's a finals team? Hey, look at what NC State did in the NCAA tournament.
Yes,
Anything can happen once you get into tournament play.
that is very true. All right, Nick. Now, what we were kind of hinting on is Gamecock baseball. South Carolina
Mhm.
baseball has been probably the biggest wishy-washy team the entire season. It was actually on the news today, ironically here, that said, "Is Carolina back?" So their bats got hot. So that's a good question. So let's go. I'm going to go to you. Do you think South Carolina Gamecocks baseball? I talk a lot, but Gamecocks baseball has done enough to go Omaha, and if they go to Omaha, do you think this is a World Series team?
So I guess I'm gonna go out and say that I'm not versed in South Carolina Gamecocks at all. Being I'm from Mississippi,
That's understandable.
I hadn't really watched them. I've been watching State and Ole Miss go around. So
Hey, speaking of, Mississippi State just jumped from not ranked up to 16th this past week.
16th,
And Ole Miss actually beat us in our first series this year, 2-1.
Gotcha. That's gonna be my two teams. I'm a Mississippi boy, so I ain't gonna lie to you or try to pretend I know something that I don't on that aspect, brother.
So, all right, that's completely understandable. So, as you know, I live in South Carolina, but I'm not a South Carolina guy. University of Hawaii guy, and that's a different time for that topic there. So, before we go to JD, chat, let us know what you think. Let us know. Do you think
JD is that thing? Do y'all think JD is crazy? Because I tell you what, we're gonna go to another regional and we're probably gonna lose in the super regional if we make it out of our own regional.
Well, okay, so I want you to tell me the truth though, JD.
Oh, tell me.
Is this team Omaha ready?
I'm gonna say no. I mean,
Okay.
I'll put it out there right now. No, we're not ready. We're ready. We could do it. I'm not saying we can't. We have the talent. We have everything we need. I don't know that we have the coaching.
Mhm.
That's been my issue. And I'll tell you what, there's been many Gamecock fans that were ready to burn this thing to the ground a few weeks ago. They've come around since, but I'm not ready to put down my matches and my gasoline just yet.
Okay.
So guess what? I'm going to say we make it to a regional. We probably lose in the super regional. Mark Kingston's gone. And let's switch it up. We got some more things to talk about, Brandon.
Yeah.
You kick it off.
All right. So JD's had some very good, valid points. Nick, excellent points. Shane, great. Dude, where have you been over our lives? Wow,
I love it.
Whoa.
Small
All right,
town
so,
South Carolina.
all right, so we're gonna actually tag Nick on for this right here because he didn't come in last night and talk golf. JD and I we actually just got done playing golf this past weekend. For those who didn't know, my birthday was the 25th of April, and my wife apparently for a few weeks have been playing this ultimate surprise birthday party. JD was in on it. We did pretty good. I didn't get to play the whole time because I started hurting. As most of you probably don't know, I had a widowmaker heart attack July 8th, 2023. And I had quadruple bypass surgery on July 10th of 2023. I'm still recovering. It takes a long time. I have been told also by a lot of people in the heart attack groups that I'm a part of that you sometimes with widowmakers and quadruple bypass, you don't ever fully 100% recover. So, I have kind of been prepared for that one, but I'm trying to get better. But we are avid golf people. And Tiger Woods is one who turned me on to golf. I'm sure if you put a line of 100 people in there and you ask them who turned you on to golf, 90 to 95 of them will say Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods. You'll get those very few that will say Phil Mickelson. You will get those few that will say Roy McIlroy. You'll get those few who will say
Got
the
it.
the list just goes.
Tour.
Yeah, the list goes on.
The Live Golf Tour.
So, Nick, I want you to talk about golf, man. Let us know what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you have heard, what you think is going to happen with this week and maybe even the weeks to come.
Well, so right now, Scotty Scheffler's been on a hot streak. Last 4 out of 5 starts, he's definitely done what how would I word that? Doing quite well for himself, I guess you could say.
Yes.
I've even heard the term thrown out there that he's playing like Tiger.
Ooh, that's a good comparison.
In fact, Tiger Woods commented on it, saying that he's just that good, He I believe he finished 16 under the other day on the – where'd they play at?
Well, let's just put it this way: 1600 in general. That's incredible.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen that in person. I can't do that. So
no,
I mean that's phenomenal.
I'm shooting maybe 90 to 100.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go out on the run here. This past week, JD did beat me. I'm gonna tuck my tail between my legs on that one. But the previous time him and I played, I scored a 90 or the 92, JD, wasn't it?
No, that was me.
Yeah, so I beat JD the first time we played.
Oh, yeah, you beat me the first time. The first time you beat me, it was a 99 to a 104, I think.
It was something like that.
So graciously lent me your wife's clubs the last time.
Yes, I lent my wife's clubs.
I shot a 92. So
yeah,
maybe I should be a transgender athlete, but we'll leave that for another day.
All right, so Nick, I want to tag on something that I read, and I want to get your thoughts. And then we're going to go around the table here, and we're going to ask the thoughts of the guys too. Tiger Woods, we know what he's been through. He's been through hell and back and then some. He nearly lost his leg, nearly lost his life. He has had to withdraw through many tournaments. ESPN came out with a report the other day. He has said he is committed to one event a month. That's that makes me happy. That getting to see Tiger, I always feel it makes a difference in golf. It makes it more electrifying. Now, is Scheffler getting there? I think he is. I think he's going to be the next Tiger because I feel it. The fact that he has been so dominant lately kind of is pointing in that direction. Well, then today, ESPN reported that Tiger Woods got the exemption to play in another major. Obviously, Tiger doesn't really need to play for the money anymore. The guy is loaded. He's a billionaire. We know he is. Nick, I want to hear what you have to say about Tiger Woods. How do you feel with the minimum of one event a month and then also the exemption card that he just received?
So I'm kind of stoked that Tiger's going to be back, getting back in the swing of things, so to speak. He kind of disappeared there for a little while with everything going on. So I'm glad to see that he's back on the 18 greens and trying to be more proactive. I definitely feel like that he's got a chance to come back, win one more green coat. And certainly hope he does for my sake anyway.
I would love to see him win one more Masters. God, I remember it was only 5-6 years ago that he got that he had that incredible as they call it, the immaculate return, because he was not going to get anywhere, and then all of a sudden you look up and he's in the lead for the final round, and then he ends up winning the green jacket.
Yep,
that's not that you have. for people who don't understand this, and our audience that's watching this right now, you have to really understand Tiger revolutionized the game of golf. Yes, you have your Jack Nicklaus. Yes, you have Phil Mickelson's. You have all the others, Oh, our boy Shane Barrett just walked into the studio.
Goodness, Shane Barrett, get out of my studio.
So obviously it's exciting to see him back on the game. So what do you think, Nick, about the exemption? Are you okay with him having it? Do you think he will make it to a Saturday, Sunday kind of cut?
I feel like it. Given that I don't know how to word it, and I feel like that he's got the potential to definitely make it, especially with playing, at least once a game, one game every month. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch and see where he goes. For my sake, I hope he does. He inspired me since I was young. He's the one that got me into it.
Like I said, I guarantee you 90 to 95%, or 90 to 95 people, and out of that 100, they turned on to the game of golf because of Tiger Woods. Shane, I want to hear your thoughts, man. Tell me, what do you think about Tiger Woods being able to be back and playing one event a month? And do you think it's, now that we have him, getting to see him more, do you think he will win one more major in his time?
Tiger Woods back to the sport in any fashion at the golf course is a big boost, no matter what you look at. So that's one deal. I mean, even practice rounds gain 2-3 times the attendance of any other course whenever he's on the card.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Do I think that he can still play competitive golf? Yes. At major level, the way the players are now and the way that these guys are having to design these courses, I'm not sure if we'll see it again. Now, who's to say? You never know. It's all about, I've shot a 120 and I've shot a 85.
It really is pick your poison kind of thing,
It's all about that. But and with the golf subject, one thing I want to touch on is the youth in the golf. Have you guys seen this Miles Russell coming out at 15 years old on the Korn Ferry Tour? And just, I mean, he had a top 20 finish in his first.
You there? I think we lost him. So let's go. Well, while we get back, let's go up there. All right, Shane, continue.
There you go. No, Shane, you cut out a little bit.
You cut out there, Shane.
I'm sorry, but Miles Russell in his first Korn Ferry Tour event finished top 20 with a -6 in the final round.
That's incredible.
At 15 years old.
So let's go to JD too on this, because I want to, because JD has some good topics that I want to continue on this one. Before we go to JD, chat, let us know what you think about Tiger Woods. He is committed to one event a month. What are your thoughts on having him here, playing one more time, playing more events for us? Do you think it will be competitive, or do you think he will drop out? Just let us know in the chat. We will read your comments on here. Now let's go to JD. JD, finish up with the topic of Tiger Woods, please.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that to me. 'Cause Tiger Woods, man, we all grew up playing PlayStation games. We got the new NCAA football game coming out soon. We used to play Tiger Woods PGA Tour 05. And
I still have that game, by the way.
We would smack the ball 320 yards, hit the par 4 on the green, putting for eagle. Tiger absolutely revolutionized the game. I wrote him off when he came back initially. I really did. I wrote him off initially. I thought he would never win another major. I didn't think he'd ever win another tournament. That Masters he won, though, 5 years ago. And, yeah, they recently had the story, I think, with Marty Smith, which Marty Smith, ESPN, if y'all don't know him, Y'all better get
Check
to
him
know
out.
them. Y'all better get to know us because we about to be here. We about to be talking all these great things. But listen, I wrote him all. I said he'd never win another major. And he proved me wrong. And see, that's me as a Gamecock fan. I like saying things that, hey, prove me wrong. Please, by all means, go do your best. Go do whatever you got to do and prove me wrong. And so
That's right.
now I'm going to tie this into the next conversation.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, hey guys, Nick, Shane, Brandon, let me ask you guys this. Whenever you ready to go cook a good meal, when you say you got a new date coming to the house, you got to nail it. Do you have a favorite frying pan?
Ooh.
I got a favorite grill.
That's
I
good.
knew
That's a good
somebody
one.
would say that. I like it. Shane, what about you?
There's a couple go-tos.
Couple of good. Hey,
I don't have one because
spoon,
I'm gonna be honest. Cassie has it.
spoon, or favorite ladle?
Ooh.
Hey,
My favorite wooden spoon.
certain couple recipes that, depending on the maybe female or company that you're going to entertain, that's what you got to go with at that time.
Hey, you got to go with your best. And so that's why I'm going to bring it to this. Listen, I am so excited about Gamecocks basketball right now. Lamont Paris is straight teaching and treating the Gamecocks like it's his favorite frying pan. My man's got the #1 in-state recruit that he had to flip out of a national letter of intent from Texas. How many times do we ever hear that happening? Somebody got released from their national letter of intent from a school, and it's his #1 recruit from the state of South Carolina. Lamont was like, no, you got to get out of this. You got to come home. Look, he went and got Nick Pringle, 6'10", from Alabama. Just went on a Final Four run. Here he come. Hey, I'm telling Lamont just did all these crazy things last year with basically the island of misfit toys.
Oh,
I know, yeah.
Our man Mark.
Yeah,
Bound to you, Mark, sir.
The island of misfit toys last year, and now he's building a system. He's got his favorite frying pan. He's got his favorite recipe. My man is cooking. He got Jordan Butler, a 7-footer. And then here, I'm going to finish it off with this, and I'm going to ask you guys this question.
Oh, no, we about to have some fun on this one, JD. Because I got some people who want to chime in.
The #1 recruit from Finland named Oku Frederico. And here's my question. The top 7 talents in the NBA this year are all foreign players. Is the USA falling behind in basketball talent?
So let's pause there. Chat. I see we have a bunch of people on here. The first 3 people who say basketball in the chat, I'm going to drop the link for you to come on, and you're going to debate that question with JD, Nick, Shane, and myself. So the first 3 who type the word basketball in the chat, I'm dropping you the link, and you will come on. And don't be scared coming on. Don't be afraid. It's just a bunch of guys.
Hey,
we're just going to talk.
Look at me. Look, I'm like 5'7", $120 soaking wet. There ain't no need to be afraid of nothing.
All right, so my boy, I'm going to introduce you guys to him in a minute. His name is Matt. We're going to call his nickname is actually Springs, and he'll tell you that story in a little bit. Matt, I'm dropping you the link now, buddy. That is him right here. Okay, that's Matt. I'm going to drop the link. Matt, there's the link. Please click it. And come on, man. And you are gonna, and I will let you on. You just can't. Now there is a couple rules here. No cussing. That is the #1 no. You know, and be respectful to my guys. But I want to hear this debate, Matt. Please, I want to hear you. Has the USA fallen behind on basketball? All right, we're waiting. While we're waiting, JD, I'm going to tell you this. I think the answer is yes. Who was the number one recruit? Who was the number one pick last year? Where'd he come from? Victor Wembanyama.
And Binyana.
Who is projected to be the number one pick this year? And where are they coming from?
Or it's like, dude, it's like the top 6 this year.
Yes, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
mean,
y'all, our stream is popping. We are at
no way,
27 right now.
There's no way LeBron and Curry and Durant and whomever else they have on the Olympic team, I don't think they win gold.
Okay.
It's a 2-part question. It's a 2-part question.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. It's a 2-part.
Because do I believe the USA is falling behind on talent? No. Do I believe that the USA is falling behind on pro-ready talent and the way the game is played and the mindset around the individuals that are playing the game at this certain level? That is the major difference.
That's a very good point.
I like that point. Yes. Nick, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts, man.
I feel like as a whole, our country is. I feel like more of our youth are going into football or the likes and not really taking up as much time with basketball. Just from what I've seen, and like I said, I'm not a real big basketball person. I've been out of it for 5-6 years, so. I'm just coming back into it, so yeah.
That's like in ancient times.
I've got.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys know here. Okay, our boy Nick is 29 years old, so he's not like he's an old goat. He's still a spring chicken. He's still, and I'm gonna put it to you this way: I probably am the oldest between all 4 of us right now. I'm 40. All right, so I'm gonna let you know the man I'm about to bring on. I have known since 2006, maybe 05. His name is Matt Springs Thomas. My man Springs.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? How's it going?
All right, let's debate. All right, JD, you and Springs are going to go first. You guys tell me who's going to go first. You start your debate, and then I want someone to play Jim Rome and say not so, or even Lee Corso, the not so fast, my friend. JD, go.
Matt, did you heard the question initially though? Me thinking the USA has fallen behind in basketball talent. Did you hear that initial question, or you want me to reset it up for you?
Can you hear Springs?
It's going in and down a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. So, JD, try again. Speaking a little bit louder. Maybe you can hear you there.
Yeah, Spring. So my question was, obviously, I was talking Gamecock basketball. I was talking. We signed the number 1 player from Finland, which I think to me is a big deal because the top 7 prospects in the NBA this year are all projected from overseas. We see Jokic and Doncic and everybody else from overseas. I think the USA has fallen behind in NBA ready talent. And so I wanted to hear what your thoughts were on that.
I agree and also disagree with you on that one. As far as talent, the NBA has talent. There's a lot of talent here over in the States as well. I think the difference that we're seeing now is the focus on the skill part of the game. I think overseas they're more technical. They have an eagerness to learn the skill part of the game. As far as how to read defenses, things like that, how to execute a pick and roll. And while over here, we're in a social media era now over here, man. It's just about, the mixtape, the dunks, things like that. But I think it's just they are more NBA ready from the start than our players are over here. I think that's just kind of that's the glaring thing right now.
Right. Oh, well, hey, I certainly can't disagree with that. I 100% agree. I mean, they have like more discipline. They're trained to play a more team ready basketball. Whereas we've talked about here, we don't really like watching the NBA because of how so ISO-centric it's become. everything's isolated basketball, or even I've got one point coming up here in just a minute about, everybody wants to sit back and watch LeBron play. I mean, you can't have one guy handling the ball and 4 guys not doing anything. And yeah, you've got to understand angles and geometry. So I think our education here in the U.S. could potentially cause us to fall back from that perspective, where some of our guys might just not be good at geometry and understand angles and cutting off lanes and this and that. And granted, I'm not a basketball expert, but I won't disagree with anything you said. We certainly have the talent, but it's just a matter of the coaching and things they're getting now, where people are trying to get clicks versus wins.
But in that same sense, JD, don't you think that, I mean, the game even translates, pretty similar between the college and the pro level right now? If that was truly the case, would there not be such a discord between the foreign game and the college game at this point?
Well, I mean, I think that's clearly what we're seeing. You see the one and dones in the NCAA, and you see that most of the successful teams this year were teams who had 4th and 5th year transfers. Lamont Paris, he is building a team style at South Carolina. I'll use that as an example. You've got to build a team. You got to have a scheme. You got to have a plan. And I think that's the difference between NCAA and NBA. NBA is superstar. Give a guy a ball, he goes score. NCAA, the teams that are successful, and that's why Calipari obviously had to move from Kentucky, because he was too eccentric on getting superstars. You gotta. It's all about structure, style, scheme, I think, in college, and I think you can win that way, which is why Lamont is cooking in USC.
What do you think, Frank?
Do what?
What do you think?
I agree. I agree with what JD said. I agree to his extent. The focus is a lot on, well, it's a star-driven league, as we know, and we know here in the NBA, if you got to put butts in the seat. That's kind of what we're dealing with here over in Atlanta with our particular quote-unquote star.
Let's not
you
go
trade
there.
your guy away, you trade your guy away, or do you keep him? Do you keep him and keep butts in the seat? So that's kind of what the focus is from the business aspect of it. But from the players, and overseas they just focus more on skill, man. They focus more on skill and how to play the game the correct way. That's why Luka was ready when he came over. And this is why probably the first pick in the next draft is going to be Alexander Sarr from France. That's why Wemby is technically as skilled as he is right now. It's just a different focus, man. It's a different focus from here to in there. But yeah, I agree with everything that JD said.
Okay. I want to keep this going. Chat, come on. I want 2 more people. Do not be scared. Come on. Type in basketball debate with me, Shane, JD, Springs, and our boy Nick. Come on. I want to hear it. Bring it down. There are 72 people in here. Come on. Don't tell me all 72 people here are scared. Let's bring it. Come on now. Yes, you're talking live. Come on now.
Man, hey, I appreciate all your thoughts, bro. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for debating me with it. I appreciate that very much, bro. It's more of a fundamental thing, though, right? Is that what we can agree on?
Yeah.
They're getting trained more fundamentals.
Yes, I definitely agree.
That translates, you know what I mean? So, hey, we agree, we disagree. I'm always open for good conversation, my man.
All right, so while we're waiting for people to come debate, JD, you had one more good topic to talk about. Please, I want to hear it, man. We here at the Sportz Nutz, we do not leave any stone unturned. Matt, you're more than welcome to stay as long as possible, man. We don't leave any stone unturned. I want to hear it, man. You know what we can do.
Matt, Shane, I know Shane's already prepared. Nick, I'm sure you're prepared. But, yeah, I want to hear Matt Thomas. I want to hear your thoughts on this one because, yeah, this one's going to be a little different. It's going to be curveball.
Okay.
All right. So I need to know, do I need to keep calm or do I need to panic? All right. So put yourself in my shoes. Just imagine what I'm saying right now is you in your, you're imagining this is what you're going through as a fan of your college football team. Okay. All right. So I did not like what I saw from the Gamecocks offense in the spring game. And everybody was like, oh, wait a minute, JD. It's supposed to be vanilla. We're not supposed to give anything away. And here's my question. We didn't run a single route over 20 yards. There was literally never a receiver who went more than 20 yards downfield. All right. Meanwhile, excuse me. Meanwhile, I've got Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama.
Georgia.
Guess what? They all hit a 70-yard touchdown pass. So, is it too crazy for me to think? Am I nuts? Am I a sport nut for thinking that we would have given too much of our offense away by running two goes? Like, literally, do we not have that much creativity on our offense that we can't run two long passes? I think they're getting into a habit on practice, thinking that Lenora Sellers is going to bail them out like LeBron James. What do you think?
Matt, let's hear it, man.
First off,
You know how we are with baseball, we are with football, so.
Yeah, the teams that did show their offense in football, they look pretty good doing it too as well. But as far as with your team with South Carolina, first I just want to say, pertaining towards South Carolina, thank God for women's basketball, right? But I wouldn't be too worried about it. I know if your team is anything like the teams we have here in Georgia, they open up a lot of spring practices. There's a lot of practices to let the fans come and see. So I mean, one practice, or one game, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if it becomes a habit, and it's like that every time you go, and then I would have a little bit of concern. There's something wrong with our quarterback. Can our quarterback not make those throws? Do we not have receivers that can run those particular routes? Are our receivers slow? I mean, so I guess it's a personal thing. It just depends. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would until it becomes a habit.
And I like that too. I like what he said there.
Oh yeah,
he's
I
giving
agree.
out points.
For me, that's a couple of the red flags I've seen. Is that we don't have the speed or the size necessarily to win one-on-ones, and so I think by the way they ran the offensive system in the spring game, I think they actually gave more away about their offense coming up in the regular season than they actually intended to. Because granted, we just picked up a 6-foot receiver and maybe a 6'4". We picked up a Nevada receiver and a Florida State receiver. But I think we gave up far more by not showing, that we can stretch the field than we did by just being vanilla.
I want to chime in on that one there, what you just said on that, JD. Before I do, I want to say my mother is actually here. My mother and my stepdad, Matt, they have actually given you a shout out. Mom just said, hello, Matt, from Dave and Carla. All right. So Matt made a good point on this one too, JD. You don't want to make it a habit. However, you do want to show your fans what is a possibility for what's coming up. You don't want to just show your basics. You don't want to show 20 yards, Now, I will say this with Lenore Sellers, he is a version of Michael Vick. He comes too quick, and then he is ready to run. You need to be able to go through your progressions and you go through them accurately. Now, do I think you guys could have opened the playbook? Oh, absolutely, you can. You don't now. Matt said this correctly. You don't show your cards at all times, because game film is picked up by every team. Every single team is going to get a copy of your spring game, every one of them. So you want to show some of your plays to the fans so they can be excited, looking forward to seeing a simple go route, seeing all goes, seeing corners, seeing slants, seeing hitch routes, seeing reverses, seeing double reverses. You want to be able to see some of those actions come to it. Do I think you guys ran a vanilla style? Yes, it was basic. Your fans deserve better. Do I think you need to worry about it? No, I don't think you need to freak out. I think you guys are going to be fine. Obviously, we know what Shane Beamer is capable of. And Matt, thank you so much for coming. We know what Shane Beamer is capable of. Okay, we know he is eccentric. I guess is the correct way to say it, right?
Background noise.
His favorite thing to do is kick trash cans and break his feet. So, I mean, that's just that. So, am I worried about you guys? I'm worried in the sense that you might not recover that. You may rely too much on Lenore Sanders' running ability. Teams are going to pick up on that real fast. And when I mean real fast, it's like night and day difference. It can even be as quickly as a single quarter. They have made the correct adjustments. They know how to get in the head. I don't know if you knew this, JD. I'm pretty sure you did, though, but 90% of all sport is mental. 10% is physical. It's all in your mind. When I played basketball, do you know I used to overthink free throw shooting? God, I was terrible. But I got better, and I had great coaches show me how to shoot better free throws. When I played football, it got in my head. Is it going to hurt when I hit this player? And you just go through it. You just do it. You just got to do it. Suck it up. Just suck it up. As they say, suck it up, buttercup. Rub some dirt on it. Get it going. You live to play another down. Shane, I want to hear your argument with JD on this one, please.
Oh man, I've got a few good points. I actually reached out to one of my fellow brothers that is an avid Gamecock fan and said, "Hey man, I really hadn't followed him this year, other than the Lenoris and everything with him being from around the PD region. Hey, help me out. These are some of the points that I'd like to touch on." And he helped me out, and I can tell you, I'm in agreement about everything that he told me. You look at it, Sean Elliott coming in as the tight ends coach and running games coordinator. Yeah, he's coming in. They took him out of spring practice. That's how new he is to the system. So of course, when you look at the system, when you're bringing in a guy like that, when you're talking about a true running game and a three-headed monster in your offense, bringing somebody in that new and all the other new pieces around there, you're not going to have the knowledge and the skill set around to give the fans the ability to know what your offense is about, because nobody knows it now. I mean, with the turnover on the coaching staff, it's crazy. And then you start looking into the transfer portal and everything else with the pieces that you're bringing in. You have pieces set up in every position to be great as long as the offensive line can stay healthy.
Amen on that one.
It's just going to take. Yeah.
The number one rule there is health. You hit the nail on the head. Is the health.
Yep. It's going to take some time, and I mean, if you look back on it, Lenore Sellers, he is about a year away from a solid offensive line being healthy and being one of those contenders to talk about, SEC quarterback of the year kind of deal, just with his skill of those generational Jaden Daniels, kind of talents that we talked about on the last episode.
Yeah. All right.
And with the transfer portal, you were bringing in.
You can't forget the NIL either. You got to remember that NIL plays a big role in it as well as the transfer.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's the way the sport's coming, until they can regulate it solidly between and kind of evenly disperse it. I think that the bigger schools are always going to have the edge, especially with Shane Beamer and the way he manipulates social media. He is a genius the way he does that.
JD, you're about to say something?
Yeah, well, I saw Matt got back in. I wanted to see if Matt had something else to get with us on the Gamecock football. Listen, I don't disagree that it's supposed to be vanilla in the spring game. And granted, we just got 2 other wide receivers. And Shane just mentioned that point. Yes, we got Sean Elliott back. Dude, I'm not trying to be a downer on Gamecock football. I'm just saying, look, you see how worn out this hat is? That's because I throw this thing down on the ground more than Steve Spurrier did in his heyday. All right?
Wait, I got to get that index card. Hold on, let me get the index card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, dude, I'm throwing the whole thing down. The whole thing. It's all gone. So I just don't think it's too crazy for me to think that, like, dude, are y'all not watching any more football than I am? Like, I see so many offenses that have so much creativity and things like that. It's ridiculous for me to fathom that us running two routes longer than 20 yards would give away our entire offense. Like, are you?
You do have to be a little worried about that too if you're only going to show the 2 basic plays.
Right. I think we gave far more away because Sellers is going to be a scrambler, and we're going to need the receivers to turn their routes back. Obviously, like a Mahomes drill.
So I will tell you this, and then we'll go to Matt. There are 2. You have 2 playbooks. Okay. One is your razzle dazzle, every kind of play imaginable. Then you have what's called your basics, which is your average Joe plays. When you go to the huddle, you are given 2 plays every time. And I'm gonna let you know if you hear, like, say for instance, you're watching and you hear and say kill, 100% of the time, that's a run play. That is your basic offense that they're running to. So you do have 2 plays that you're given. Do I think you guys should open up a little more? Absolutely. So Matt, I want to hear you because we're about to run out of time. I want to hear you, and then we're going to hear Nick because I want to get Nick on this too.
I want to jump in right quick, Brandon.
Yeah,
I'm fixing to have to get off.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're good. All right, Nick.
Look, again, I'm not a big Gamecocks person, but I do see where you're coming from, JD, as far as I guess I'll play the devil's advocate there. I do see where that's kind of alarming because, like you said, most of the other teams were throwing routes. And to not throw a route, that kind of leans towards, hey, maybe we don't have nothing better.
You not have confidence in your route.
So, because if you
Literally,
can't,
20
you can't
yards.
mix it
Brother,
up
I
and
can
go
throw
from
a
running
football
to throwing the
I can
ball.
throw a ball 30 yards.
Yeah, if you can't go from running the ball to throwing it deep, hey, they're going to pick you off pretty quick, and that's going to be that.
Yeah,
that's right, exactly. Matt, let's go to you, and then we're gonna have to close our wonderful session with everybody. So Matt, let's hear it from you, please.
Yeah, like I said earlier, man. I wouldn't be too worried, but I understand it. I understand where you're coming from. You've been waiting to see, what's gonna happen, what's new, or what do we have something to look forward to, and they come out and they just kind of deliver a dud, by your measures. So I totally get it 100%.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna say this with you, JD. I know we pick on the Gamecocks quite a bit on the fan upstate, but if Beamer does not improve, Mark has said this too. If Beamer does not improve this year, if it's a 4-win season, I think Beamer's gone. If it's a 5-win season, when I mean that seat is hot, that means he's on lava. That's how hot his seat will be. So, y'all, it has been a fantastic episode. We reached a max, people, of 78 viewers in the stream. Y'all, my heart loves this. This has been a dream of mine for 7 years. I love every one of you that are on this stream. Please like, share. Before we go, we're going to give our shout outs to everybody here. The first one, though, is our special guest, my man, Springs. Now, guys, I want to tell you, I've known Matt, I think of what, 2005, wasn't it, Matt, that we met?
Yeah, somewhere around there, man. Back in our younger years, yeah.
So I've
Hey,
known
Matt,
Matt for a long
pleasure.
time.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, man.
This is what we need.
Keep in touch.
Oh man,
Matt.
thanks for having me, guys. I'll definitely spread the word, man. I've enjoyed the first couple episodes, so I definitely
Now,
will spread
Springs,
the word.
I want you to give your social media handles so people can follow you.
Yeah, most definitely. My Instagram right now is just Matt Can Fly High. I'm nothing really too special on there yet, but I will have some things coming soon. So
Hey,
yeah, Matt Can Fly High.
hey, we ain't nothing special. None of us. We all good.
All right, so now we're going to
yeah.
go to my boy, Nick. Nick, give your socials, please.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Snapchat or Facebook at Nick Cray. Let's see, I got Twitter at Slow Motion Photos with an F.
Right there. It's on the screen right there.
Yeah. And then I've got Instagram and whatnot as well, so I can get that added in. Instagram's slowmotion.kj5cxs. Kind of weird, but just go with me. Snapchat slowmo270.
All right, guys, before we go any further, I want to welcome our newest member of our team, my man, Shane Owen. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, I appreciate it. I love it. Like I said, I'm just not getting into it, so I've at least got a handle tonight. You can look me up on Facebook. Shane Owen is the handle there, and on Snapchat, Shane O'Mac, MAC 1240. Hit me up. I'm available anytime. I'm down to discuss any topic that we got.
JD, give not only yours, but Sportz Nut handles. Please get it going, brother.
All right, my beautiful babies. It's time to sign off. I got my wife knocking at the door. I probably got to go tell the kids night and the dog. But hey, you can find us at the Sportz Nutz with a Z at 176 on YouTube. Just at the Sportz Nutz everywhere else at WY_JD. Hey, we got one burning question I didn't get to.
What was
Maybe
that?
we'll get to it next episode. Let's go.
Let's go. Hi, guys. You can follow me at Keeler Brandon on Twitter, Brandon Keeler on Facebook at The Sportz Nutz. We are always there. Y'all, we have another episode that will be coming very soon. Our boy Greg could not join tonight, which is understandable. He said there was a possibility he might not come. Hopefully we have him come next. Matt, I'm so happy to have you come on, man. When we have another one with the fans come out, man, chime in, brother. We're going to get you on there, man, all right?
Yeah, man.
Will do.
All
All right,
All right,
thanks,
so
Anytime.
for Matt, for my boy Nick, for our man JD, who did a stellar of a job. Yeet! Our man Shane, our man Greg, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Greg Troxel. Y'all, I'm Brandon. This has been a fun night. I wish you guys nothing but peace, love, and what did you say the other night, Shane?
Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Yes, sir. Y'all, take it easy. We love you all. We really do. We look forward to it. Remember, this is the Sportz Nut. It's where it's at. Let's get it.
Later, y'all.
All right, guys.